Good morning. It's good to be with you. Broadcasting a little early this morning because I've got to make a trip to Conway to get some stuff for Vacation Bible School tonight. Ran across an interesting illustration in one of my books. We're studying Romans on Wednesday night now for our Vacation Bible School adult. Okay. In Romans, the 8th chapter, verses 31 through 32, it says, "What then do we say about these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? He did not even spare his own son, but offered him up for us all. How will he not also with him grant us everything?" Thinking about what Christ did, his sacrifice, makes me think about sacrifices that were done in different times, different places. And the illustration I've got is called A Love for Enemies. It's in an illustration book that I have. World War II was drawing to a close, and the German army was sending children to man the lines in a futile effort to stop the Allied invasion into their homeland. It was March 1945. Dr. Karl Schlesser, a German soldier, remembers this time. "I was in a battalion of teenage grenadiers, fresh out of training, and was sent into the front line east of the Rhine River after American forces had established a foothold on the east bank. Fresh American troops were pushing across, and our battalion was ordered to plug a hole in the front line. We dug in 3 companies abreast on a slight rise in front of the little town of Kirchhellen. It was with the 1st Company in the center of my position. My company numbered about 80 teenagers. In bitter fighting, American troops pushed through on both sides, but got stuck in front of my company. About 17 or 18 of us were left. We huddled in 2-man foxholes. On the morning of March 28th, amid smoldering tanks and twisted bodies, there suddenly came an eerie silence. I looked over the hole I shared with a buddy and saw no life but a movement in the busted roof of a farmhouse about 200 yards away," Schlesinger said. Feeling sudden panic, Schlesinger stood up in his foxhole and fired 4 rapid shots at nothing in particular. The eerie silence was broken by a single voice. A lone American soldier had walked calmly towards the entrenched Germans, saying in a calm and low voice, "Come on out, come on out." Schlesinger remembers the American soldier had 2 machine guns trained on him, and we were sure he knew this, but he just kept on coming. To have shot him would have seemed like murder because he was not a threat. He just wanted us to give up. Schlesinger's foxhole happened to be in direct path of the approaching American soldier. So Schlesinger and his buddy were the first to confront him. He was startled to see that the soldier was an American Indian. He had the classic face of an Indian, and it was not threatening to the German soldiers. The German soldiers did as he said. They dropped their weapons, took off their helmets, tossed them back into the foxhole. The Indian soldier told them to put their hands over their heads. Then he turned and walked toward the American lines without looking back as the German soldiers followed. Schlesinger was overwhelmed. He must have been the most reasonable man, the most perceptive, and the most understanding, and by far the most brave. We had not expected to live, and he must have seen how idiotic this wall was, and he acted on his own to save us, risking his life in the process. Later in the prisoner of war camp, we talked about him. If he had not come to get us, we would have died in our foxholes. His action was a personal one. He was not ordered to do what he did, and I owe him my life and have lived it. What a wonderful example of what Christ did up for us. He didn't have to die for us, but he did. And he continues to say, "Come on out. Come, be with me. Walk with me. Be part of my kingdom." Are you listening? Maybe it's time we understood what it means to love our enemies. All those who love Christ become friends to God. Where are you today in your relationship? Wherever you are, trust in the Lord and have a great day. God bless you.